Let's actually start. Allow your feet to touch at the base, and then bring your head top up to the highest point by pushing up through the center. Relax your shoulders, relax your hips. Take a deep breath and bring your hands together in the center. And then calibrate from the top to bottom. So relax the skin on the top of your head. Relax your brow. Loosen your eyebrows, open your vision, and then allow it to relax again. Take a big breath through your nose. Open your sinuses, open your nostrils sideways to breathe more. See if you can wiggle your ears. Unclench your jaw. Connect your tongue to the upper palate to the right place. Relax your neck. Allow gravity to pull your shoulders downwards, but keep just enough energy so that it's round and we have a small space in the armpit. The chest is hollow. The center is supporting. The back is both unrolled and relaxed, open both horizontally and vertically so that all of that can open. The tailbone is heavy, sinking down towards the heels. Let the insides of your hips relax. Pull your heel in, make the arch on the inside of your foot, and then activate your toes. You can think of a cat or an eagle clawing at the ground, or you can think of spikes or nails driving directly down. Either way, you'll find the right thing. And then, once you do that, relax your pinky toe and half relax the next toe over. The pinky toes acting like on an airplane they have a miniature wing to help stabilize. When they have racing cars, they put a fin out in the front for the air. So keeping your pinky toe, this is sort of next level. If you've been gripping your toes for some time, you're going to relax the pinky so that it acts as a sensor. Take a long, deep breath, relax. We're going to start with breathing. So for this one, we're going to incorporate a different Qigong, making 2 circles at the bottom and 2 circles at the top. So when you sit back, push your tailbone backwards and away so that this is happening, and then drawing 2 circles with your hands. We're coming up from the center and then drawing 2 more circles and coming back down. See your tailbone back and away. You can think of scooping something up and opening to the sky. You can think of drawing 2 halves of a circle, 2 circles on each side, the number 8, the infinity sign. Make it continuous. And because this movement is more complex, be sure to coordinate your breathing with the movement. So inhaling, gathering, scooping the energy all the way up, and exhaling, releasing everything, coming back down from the center. Scoop. Keep your feet activated the whole time, and make your intention to level up. Make it your intention to increase. Now we have some new notes for what to do with your feet and toes. Gripping your toes is the first part of the equation. Having that grip be at the right amount for each toe is the next level. I'm inhaling all the way to the top. At the top, I start my exhale and finish my exhale on the way down. Inhaling from the lowest point, exhaling from the highest point. And for this one, by the way, when you go back, you can stretch quite a bit. When my teacher taught this, he would have people open their spines. I'm doing it kind of relaxed because we have viewers at home on YouTube. So you can make this a large, full body stretch. Just don't lose your balance. Practice near your couch or your wall if you're worried about falling over. Go at your own pace, your own speed, breathing. Did we miss something for calibration today? The thing that we missed, if you're doing all this exercise, can't have a very serious expression on your face. Check to see the corners of your mouth are activated. And wherever you're at with these, do 2 more really big ones. When you finish, return back to Tai Chi Harmony. Allow your feet to touch. Pull the head top up. Relax the shoulders. Relax the hips. Use your center. Let everything relax around your core. Take a deep breath. Bring the hands together in the center. And you've been moving around a bunch. We've been moving our whole body. So recalibrate, practice the recalibration process. This time starting with the toes. Grip your toes. Leave those last 2 as feelers or sensors, even inside your shoe. Pull your heel forward. Let your lower body, from your hips to your feet, compress with gravity like a spring. Just allow all of it to relax and sink. Tailbone is hiding. Center, strong, supportive. Chest is relaxed so the energy can move downwards. There's a space in the armpit. The shoulders are relaxed. The back of the neck pushing up. The chin is tucked. We have a half smile, or just the corners. The stomach meridian runs down through the face, and a bunch of the meridian, like a river, has tributaries that run into it. So these tributaries come off the top of the face, and many of them connect through this corner, at the corner of the mouth. So allow that to be activated. Moving upwards, open your nostrils, open your sinuses, feel the front of your face open. Keep the tongue in the correct place. Open your vision, relax your brow, and then the energy going all the way up to the top of the head. Take a deep breath. Next, we're going to do just one more Qigong before we do a little warm up and do some Tai Chi. So this next one is starting from Tai Chi Harmony. And this next one's coming from Jean. And Jean referred to this one as the snake or the serpent. So we're going to stay in Tai Chi Harmony the whole time, but I want you to keep your mind on the idea of the principles of alignment, where your body is supposed to be. And we're going to take the hands and start to form them, keep them together. They're going back and forth up the center line until you reach the very top. So wiggling your whole body. And then once you reach the top, we're going to do the same thing. I'll exaggerate so that you can see the shape. Keep your knees together. Grip your toes. Push your tailbone back and away. And you can make this go as low as you want. And then the same thing. We're going to come all the way back up. Breathing. Use your whole body to mimic the movement of the serpent. So open your spine. Open your ribs. Turn your hips left and right. And then breathing, going back up the other way. So we're going to do a few more of these. Remember, the breathing is, this is a Qigong, so the breathing is important. But what I want you to feel is not only your body doing this kind of movement, but also twisting. So I want, when you're doing this, twist your torso, your hips, your feet, like a snake has many, many vertebrae that it can twist around. We don't have that many vertebrae, but we have a joint segment in our ankles. Keep your knees together so that they are protected and they strengthen each other for this exercise. Keep your hips, the idea is the inside is folding in. Time it with your breathing. You can do inhales up, down, breathing. So twisting left and right. Try not to hit the same pattern twice. Don't hit the right side over here at your shoulder all the time and the left side up here by your head. Make the curves different. Relax your shoulders. Feel your whole body twisting and turning. When you finish, relax. I guess you could finish coming right back to Tai Chi Harmony. Take a deep breath. Relax. Next, this same idea for what we're doing with the snake. This is something that I like to teach, but I don't. So I'm going to show this for demonstration purposes only. If you feel that you understand it, you may be able to practice it. If you don't have any injuries to the head, neck, or back, this one is maybe easier. If you make your feet shoulder width wide, and we're going to start by turning the hips left and right. Any of you old enough to remember doing the twist, okay? So keep your knees, when you do this kind of shaking, keep your knees in line with your feet. So my knees, when I turn my hips, they're not popping out to the side or folding into the center. They're always in line with your toes. And then do the same thing with your shoulders. So your hips are turning one way and the shoulders are turning the other way. Keep your head top straight. Keep focusing forward. And then we're going to combine all of it from the bottom to the top. So start with your hips and work your way up to your head. What is the purpose of this? How many here have ever seen a cat or a dog, and after they wake up and they stretch out, or sometimes if they playing with another cat and dog and they get all out of shape, they take their spine and they shake it out, right? Some kung fu schools teaching this as the bear, right? For schools, Xing Yi Chuan, that has animals, right? The bear also does the same thing and shakes its back. So this one, I don't teach it because you can send a vibration up into the head. It can be for people with a stiff neck or neck problems, shoulder problems. You have to be careful. For the rest of us, especially if you have a pet, when you see them do this, look at it. You can go onto YouTube, watch a bear go into the river to get a fish. When it comes out, it shakes itself off, right? So the purpose of this, keep your spine straight, only rotating around the center, right? We don't want to have any kinks or turns. This is how we can have injury. Let's continue. Next one. So let's do head and neck. So that the serpent thing is one, shaking like a bear is another one. Next one, I want you to turn circles with your head top. You can lock your shoulders into place by holding onto them to check. When you sit in the office chair, if you go to work, or if you have to drive somewhere for your work, when you're sitting, whether it's for work or recreation, you can use the chair. So if you sit, you put your shoulders on the chair and then stretch your head top and neck out from there, until you can get the body awareness of how all the pieces connect at the juncture of your spine, your neck, and your shoulders. You can use something like the chair, the corner of the top corner of the office chair, the top corner of the seat in your car, and just turn circles. And the whole time we're stretching. Imagine your head top is like a trying to escape. It's trying to move away from the center, and so it's tethered by the neck. We want to stretch that. So remember the long, deep breathing that we started with. If you haven't changed directions, change directions. Come back to the center and relax. Do some shoulder rolls. And the same thing we talked about with the exercise for the snake earlier. We're going to do some different exercises. I think there's almost been 20 classes since I have started teaching again over the summer, and we need to make sure that things don't become too repetitive. So with this one, the same thing with the snake. Feel your whole body. Even though we're trying to keep the head in the center locked, imagine all of this is moving. So get everything involved. Try to get everything to relax. Make those the circles, the shoulder circles, as large but as relaxed as possible. The breathing will help you. So use the breathing. If you haven't changed directions, change. By the way, this is your stretch, so you can go as much as you like. Change left and right. If you do this one, the same thing. Don't curve your spine. If I make everything straight, in fact, we're pulling the head top up. And so the next one, this next one is for shoulders. And I haven't taught this for a long time because it's maybe challenging. But we're going to take the arm and we're going to make it a circle in the front. So imagine that I'm standing against a wall and I want to keep my arm on that circle so it passes right in front of me. Just like this. And then the next one is in the back. So it's going to go behind me. So as if my back is against the wall, you won't be able to, without turning your spine, reach all the way around. And then we're going to combine those two in a type of Tai Chi figure 8 symbol. So we're going to go in the front and up the back, down the front, up the front, down the back. Everyone see the movement? Yes, that looks good. Steve, allow your arm to really relax. Right? Aaron, that looks great. Try to reach. And so this one, remember, Tai Chi, you have waist turn. So turn your waist one way, turn it the other way. Set your arm free. The purpose of this is the shoulder is not like a joint like other joints. It's not a hinge. It's more of a harness, right? We sort of have this section of arm that's constrained by these muscles and tendons that go over the front, top, and back. And so this exercise, I learned this from Master Yun, who learned it from an acupuncturist in Singapore. I haven't taught it because you have to keep your spine straight and for people that have an injury. But just like, let's relax for a second. Let's do a few on the other side before we do something else. So just make some circles in the front. Breathing, relax, and then make some in the back. And then connect them. How do we turn a Qigong into martial art? If we had a weapon. If we have a weapon in our hand, on this one, slicing down. And we can use that momentum as it returns back up. Slicing down, slice, 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 slice. This is free energy. So remember your shoulder harness, the deltoids. You have anterior, medial, and posterior deltoids. That's this rounded teardrop shaped set of muscles that comes off of here. Let that relax so that you're setting your arm free. And to really get the effect of it, right, I can see on screen there's different ideas. Let's do swing hands, right? The nickname for this one. So straighten your spine. Make your center line so strong, right? Nowadays we have crazy architecture, skyscrapers. So make your head top go all the way up there and your tailbone sinking all the way down to the base. And then really send your hands on vacation. Use your hips and your abdominals to turn. Keep your face facing forward. And this feeling, let's do the second one, where things are floating. This is the same thing we want to do with this shoulder exercise. pull your head top up. Really send your hands on vacation. Like you're sending them off and they're completely relaxed. Now, let's go back to do the other one. I'll change. This time, I'll have my side towards the camera. I'm coming up one side, down the back, up. So your shoulder socket is making like a U shape. If my body was here, my shoulder is going to turn in like a U, and your arm is just following. So, just like the swing hands exercise, turn to the back, turn to the front. Keep your spine straight. The key is the long, deep breathing. Did we do the other side yet? Let's try that. One side you'll find will be more coordinated than the other. So you can just make the circles at first, in the front, in the back, and then connect them. Comes up one side, down, down, up, down, up. Breathe, turn your spine, keep everything straight. Really try to relax your arm. So because if you use your arm, you're going to put tension into that shoulder. It's going to make it worse. So unless you can really relax and let that arm fly off the center line, then you may, if your practice makes you worse, what good is it, right? We don't want to have injury or become more stiff from practicing Tai Chi. Let's do another one of these, also focused on this area. So if I take a square step, putting one foot in front of the other, and I'm going to shift back and forth from front to back, and then I'm going to make my arms go the opposite. So as I push forward, my arms going back. And the goal for this one is to open up the wingspan from the center. So in some styles of Chinese Kung Fu, the arm does not start at the armpit. The arm starts at the center here. The Pigua Chuan, for instance, uses the whole arm. So this shoulder harness is considered part of the reach. So if we have an opponent and we want to reach very far, all of this, the pivot is here, not here, right? Traditionally, if we look at a child's toy, they put a joint right here for the shoulder. But technically, this part of the the pectoral muscle that comes up to deltoid is like the first part of the wing for the bird. So what were we doing? This one? We did this one, and then, oh yeah, that one, thank you, I'm watching. So feel that your arm's starting from the center, and that you can, and if you can, leave your hands hit in the back. It feels weird. We're not used to having stuff touch the back of our hands. If you want to take a break and catch up on your breathing, take your hands and smack them together backwards. Try to make the fingers line up. It's a weird feeling. And then change directions. When you do this type of activity, when you do this type of behavior, this kind of Qigong, you can keep your skin and your flexibility, the blood flow, drawn to the hands, drawn to the back of the hands. This is, you ever seen really old people and their stuff's all bruised, right? It's all blue and purple because even touching it hurts. Well, if you do this once a month, once a week, you won't have this problem, right? And the same thing with this one, because this exercise, opening all of this. And by the way, the reverse, in the back, we allow the backs of the hands to hit. On the return, we're allowing them to hit, you have latissimus dorsi, these muscles here on the side, all the way up to the shoulders. So, and to be a real Tai Chi practitioner of this one, this, by the way, this particular warm-up I learned from Wong Zihai, from Master Yun introduced me to this is Pigua Chuan. So every time alternate, one hand is higher, and then the next time it's lower, right? So you're not hitting the same size. And keep your head and neck straight. You can use your body to make the stretch more powerful. So shifting back, change the feet, cross the hands up, let them hit in the back.
By the way, unless you are really old, if you are really old and you get bruising on your hands, don't do that one, obviously. Where were we? Let's continue. Stretching. So, grip your feet, push your tailbone back and away, relax your head, neck, spine, shoulders, arms, let everything relax. So keeping your feet gripped, this is an opportunity for us to achieve something without any work. The Taoists refer to it as Wu Wei. So let the gravity do the work. Your body is working, your heart is pumping the blood, your lungs are breathing the oxygen. There's nothing else to be done. It naturally balances itself. Grip the ground with all of the right feet, all of the right toes. Use your abs, relax your spine, inflate all the way up. Expand, reach all the way to the sky, get a full breath, and then relax. We're going to do the same thing again. So grip the ground, push the tailbone back and away. Relax your spine, relax your head and neck. Take a second to focus on your breathing. And while you're doing that, feel inside your body. It's working on its own. The gravity is pulling, the blood is pumping. If you're breathing, the air is flowing. When you're ready, grip the ground, leave those pinky toes, relax, breathe all the way up. Ujjayi breathing, full breath, and then relax. Let's do just one more stretch, and that's the leg stuff. The one that I've been teaching, this is actually a rip of a it's kind of a modification of a stretch I was taught by Gene. Gene would have us do this thing called we used to refer to it as the swan dive, where you have your arms out to the side. I'm changing that for sort of a safety modification, but I think we will revisit that. I'm going to start pulling up some. Today we looked at the snake and we looked at this other thing. I'm going to start breaking out some old stuff. So one more leg stretch. Grip the ground, push your tailbone back and away, make your spine straight. This is your stretch. So if you don't want to stretch so much, that's on you. Pull your toe all the way up to your nose, straighten your spine. Stretch the inside and back of your leg, but also stretch your torso, stretch your spine towards where your hand is reaching. Use that other side for balance. When you're ready, remember to breathe and push up through. On the other side, same thing. Push your tailbone back and away. Breathe. Pull your toe back towards your nose or your chin. Extend not only your arm, your whole torso. The further you sit down, the more difficult it is. Keep that stretch going. Remember to breathe, and on your own, stand up. Did we do one on each side for those? The other thing, I had mentioned it last week, for those that weren't there, there's another stretch that I would like to get into. We have been deficient in this for several years, actually. Since the pandemic, I have not taught this one, which is this stretch. It's very similar to what we just did, but you need to make sure that we need to make sure that we protect ourselves. We don't want to have any injuries. So I have to formulate a way. My idea is similar to what we did with the standing, where we want to have our body back. We can use the door handle as a counterbalance. In the same way, if we use perhaps a door frame, something like this, I have yet to work it out, is that where we can have something to lean against and we don't have an injury. So, yeah. Before we continue, questions, thoughts, comments, ideas. Let's do one more thing before we continue. Take one of your heels, pull it up, and just turn the circle around the toe. In Westwood Park, 10 years ago, somebody used to refer to this one as the Elvis Was it Steve? Was it Howard? I don't know. Did you change directions? Same thing, let your leg relax. Feel all the places inside your leg that aren't relaxed and allow them to change. Remember with this one, keep your knee and your toe lined up. You shouldn't have any pain. If the toe is pointed towards the ground, it's like you're drawing a circle with your heel. So make that circle big. Try to relax your hips, your legs, so that you can feel what's happening inside of your leg. Change directions if you haven't already. So next, we have talked today about, in the Chinese martial arts, intention is considered to be very important, what your intention is. And I made a request for you to make an intention to improve the quality of how you grip your toes, not only with more strength, but also by deactivating the pinky and leaving the second toe more relaxed. So the first three doing the work. By the way, this is also the same for, if we talk about Chinese martial arts, the sword practice. If I get a knife, we don't want to hold the sword like this. This tension in these fingers is incorrect. In the sword practice, these are relaxed. They're open like a sensor. This is also true, just like Tai Chi. If you keep the Tai Chi principles, the Tai Chi ideas, while you drive, the same. When you hold on to the steering wheel, this is too much. One teacher would say, gripping with these two fingers too much can affect your hearing and your sight. Okay? So when you're gripping, the same thing with your toes. We don't need to have those locked. That said, so the basis for this gripping the ground is to maintain a balance. In the Tai Chi, when we start in the center, practice X-stepping. But now practice the refined grip of your feet, just using the first three. And then return to the center, grip. And then stepping forward, gripping the ground with just the right ones. Leave the other five on the other foot relaxed when you balance. Center, step forward, grip. Can you relax your pinky, toe? Back. Stepping back to the corner, same thing. Grip the ground. It may feel challenging, may feel difficult to have that kind of control. We can actually do some of this Qigong from Jean also. So activate your thumbs and your big toe. So inside your shoe, we're going to do big toe, next toe, middle toe, ring toe, pinky toe. But the same thing with the hands. So as if you're pushing your thumb and your big toe, and then breathe, relax. Index finger, index toe. Relax, let everything open. Middle finger, middle toe. Open. Fourth finger, fourth toe. On each side, breathing. All the fingers, toes relaxed. Pinky finger, pinky toe. Coming back across. And by the way, while we're doing this, I'm relaxing my toes and then just trying to grip the one. So when we come up, you see my fingers are open. My shoe also, inside my shoe, I'm pulling my toes up. And then we'll start over. Thumb, big toe. Inhale up. Index finger, index toe. Middle finger, middle toe. Fourth finger, fourth toes. Pinky finger, pinky toe. Coming back across. Ring finger, ring toe. Keep the head top up there. Middle finger, middle toe. First finger, first toe. Thumb and big toe. Index finger, index toe. This should be challenging to a lot of people. If you don't have working your way back and forth, connected with the breathing. Most people don't have the type of, we say hand-eye coordination, but in this case it would be foot-eye coordination, something like that. Individual control of your individual toes on each side. There's wiring for it there. The brain is capable of doing it. We just don't do it. And so this type of Qigong is like connecting all of the corners of the wiring and bringing them back to the center. That's why it's important to keep the head top extended. And then wherever you're at, big inhale, all fingers, all toes, exhale, full inhale. Keep your head and neck straight. Full inhale. 2 more. Grip the toes. And then when you finish, relax and come back to the center. Take a deep breath. So by the way, this last exercise, when we do this last one, you can think of this as a total body workout, a total body Tai Chi Qigong. We're sending signals to the full extent of our body, down to the fingertips, up to the head top, and everything is relayed in the center. So like a network's operation center, we have this. And then we have cabling that goes all the way to the extent of our network. And we can cultivate a Wi-Fi network that doesn't require wiring to get the chi into the ground to help us grip or to get our power to come out this way. So that said, for people learning the form is challenging. Today, we said make an intention for the people advanced enough to understand what's happening with the toes or have the body control. If you don't know the form, make it in your intention to start with the step, with the walking. Start with something. So we're going to revisit X-stepping, and then we're going to do the Tai Chi form. So, starting from the center, in the Tai Chi, we use the shoulder width as a basis. And so, stepping sideways or back, it's shoulder width wide and shoulder width deep. So pick a spot that's in your center. When you step back, activate just the right toes. Practice your balance, breathing, center. And then we step into the front of the square, top right corner of the X. And then center. Make your feet always parallel, like they're on train tracks. Grip the ground. Center. Using just the correct amount on each toe. Center. Rear left. Front right. Center. One thing I want to do before we do some Tai Chi is, if you have the space where you're at, I want you to practice walking, because I feel with the stepping, people can get the feeling of what the outside of the toe, the outside of the foot being raised up as a sensor. Walk. And I want you to feel what it's like to walk without activating your pinky toe. You should be able to walk more accurately. It should feel more streamlined. How many here have ever seen an animal? In the Tai Chi Classics it says walk like a cat. How many here have ever seen a cat bounce where it looks like they don't have any weight? When you leave your pinky toe and the fourth toe relaxed, your body should feel lighter. It should feel like you have a more accurate, more precise step. And the benefit is, because we leave the margin of the pinky toe and the fourth toe relaxed, like we said earlier with the sword, is if we leave these relaxed so that the weapon can turn freely in my hand, in an emergency, I can grip them. So the same thing with your feet. You may say, well, logically, we're using less to connect to the earth. And that's okay, like a tire that's inflated to the right amount. And then when it's braking, there's more contact. So make your intention to understand your feet and your toes better. And if you're learning the form, remember the X-stepping is the basis for everything that we do. So even though the hand movements are all very complicated and we need to figure out what that is, just starting with the step. Once you learn the step, that becomes routine. Then you can learn the waist turns. And once you learn the waist turns, you can learn just what the right hand is doing. Break it down into smaller parts. Let's do some Tai Chi to say that we have done some Tai Chi today. Bring your feet together. Pull your head top up. Relax your shoulders. By the way, this calibration is all about body understanding. I want you to have a deep body awareness so that you can feel when stress is entering in, when it's originating from your mind or your heart or from the outside. You have something inside of your body that changes. Put your mind into your center, right into the dantian. Take a deep breath, open shoulder width wide. Root yourself into the ground, sink your tailbone. Your shape is like a triangle, like a mountain. Breathing deep, grasp the sparrow's tail. Step forward. Ward off. Breathing deep, shift back. This is grasp the sparrow's tail. Square, step forward. Ward off. Take a long, relaxed breath to roll back. Turn your foot once. Turn the other foot. Join the palms. Back north. Press. Separate the palms. Breathing deep. Push. Look left. Glance right. Schwung on. Double press. Horizontal split hands. I turn my right foot. Bring my left foot back. Diao Sho is hook. Single whip. Turning back to the north. Grip the ground. Split. Brush and step. Push up. This is lift hands to up posture. Turning. Bai Hu. Long Su. Crane. Opening the wings. So Wei Pi Pa. Press. Square step. Back. Bounce. Breathing deep. Crane opening the wings. So Wei Pi Pa. Lo Shi Kanchong. Lo Shi Ao Bu Kanchong. Brush knee. Twist step. Warning palm. Holding the moon in the chest. Ban Lan Shui. Make a circle with your elbow. Corner. 2 elbows. Parry. 1 elbow turning. Punch. Scoop like you're lifting something heavy. Hand it to your opponent and prevent them from handing it back. Turn just your elbows and your waist. Lan. Shui. Scoop. Waist turn, press. Long breathing. Focus power. Punch. As if an enclosure. So waist turn one way. Waist turn, turn north, sink your tailbone, return tiger to mountain, block, gravity does the work, punch, punch, use the momentum to return back to Tai Chi harmony. Take a deep breath. By the way, for experienced people in my class, I hope that you're practicing during the week. It should be expected. You should take even 5 minutes a day to practice. You don't have to do the Tai Chi form. You can do one single exercise and gain a benefit from it. There's an old saying in the meditation world that says you should meditate for 20 minutes a day, unless of course you're very busy, in which case you should meditate for an hour. So this is, if you have a good deal of understanding about the Tai Chi form, no need to practice as much. If you like to learn more, this kind of practice is an investment in yourself. This is a self-defense class. Tai Chi is considered self-defense. And the self-defense implies something is coming to us from the outside we need to defend ourselves from. The yin-yang opposite of that is self-improvement, is when what's inside of you comes to the surface. So we're learning self-defense, we're learning self-improvement. I like to focus a lot more on the self-improvement. You see, we spend half the class talking about internal body dynamics. My warm-up is very long. This class, only teaching a portion of it is the Tai Chi form. So for people at home looking to learn the form, I need to put the classes online. For the rest of us, this is incremental improvement of ourselves, our internal understanding of our body structure, the internal understanding of our heart and mind, and how to balance those things. So let's do the Tai Chi form, just the first section, one more time, and then we're going to do closing Qigong. So allow your feet to touch, pull the head top up, relax your shoulders, do a full calibration, and let's stand here for just 10 seconds while allowing the muscle tension to melt with gravity. So activate your feet so you feel stable on the ground, and then let everything relax. Let your body support itself. Let your bones carry the weight naturally. And then from here, open shoulder width wide. The hands floating, lighter than air. Feel the air underneath them, supporting. And then internally inflating into a circle like you're holding a tree. Your hands can be down or up. And then breathing, grasp the sparrow's tail. We're looking forward. Square step. Everything's happening simultaneously. So my hand, foot, body movement, arm, waist turn is all continuous. Question, thought, oh, something is beeping. It's telling us this time. Roll back. Join the palms. Press. Push. Look left. Glance right. Double press. Horizontal. Split hands. Hook. Single whip. Ti, so, sama, shi. Split, brush, roll up, roll down, turn, crane, so wei pi pa, press. Square step back, crane, so wei pi pa, press. Brush knee, C step, press, brush knee, twist step, palm press, holding the moon in the chest. Punch. And then we're going to repeat Ban Lan Shui. Scoop, send to the corner with power. Plant your foot, make the next move, punch to the center. Scoop, send everything off to the corner. Expanding from the center, focus, drilling power to the center. One more. Corner, like an explosion, power, Rufon, Sabi, turn, return tiger to mountain, roll, punch right and left, return everything back to the center. Take a long, deep breath. I promised a different Qigong to close, but because time is, the thing is telling us we need to continue. Let's just do the basic. Sunrise, sunset. Take a comfortable stance. You don't have to rise or sink. Just turning around the center. And again, this one is a Qigong, so it requires intention. So while you're doing this, at the very least, set the intention that this closing Qigong is going to give you enough energy to make it through the rest of your day and possibly weekend. But then you can set an even bigger intention as well. Anything that you like. At the minimum, we should be intending to receive the energy that we need. Full inflation, full relaxation. Go at your own pace. Try to keep your hips lined up perfectly. Try to make your waist turn and how you turn your head, neck, and spine lined up perfectly, because we're not in a hurry. Mistakes happen from going too quickly. This is how a car accident happens, going too quickly. Slow down. And if you haven't already, change directions. I'm not counting. So if you're counting, you'll need to balance them in your head. Mine is more freeform. Again, full breathing all the way. Check to see that you have a very serious expression. You're getting all the energy you need for the weekend. Sounds wonderful. Don't make a grumpy face. At least have half smile is the minimum. You can make this a stretch too if you reach out to the sides, reach up to the top, sides, and then relaxing at the bottom so you're not reaching. Let's do 2 more, and then we'll close. Go at your own pace. Two longest, deepest breaths of the day. And when you finish, bring everything back to Tai Chi harmony. Return back to the center and move your mind, your consciousness to your Dantian, right to the center. And imagine, we said this is the network's operation center. So imagine all of the data collecting in the center. For those old enough to remember switchboard, they had a patch board for the telephone system. All the cables connecting back to the center, all the data, all the chi, all of the information returning to the center. And then take a second, close your eyes some part way, as long as you have the safety to do that, and turn your vision, your inner vision, to your center. Take a second to have a big smile to yourself. We say half smile is the minimum on the outside, but on the inside, you create your own joy. So smile to yourself. You have a mind, a body, a chi, capable of learning something like Tai Chi, very complex. And that self-improvement is a self-defense for yourself, for your inner self. So take the time. You can sigh, you can let out a breath, to smile to yourself and say thank you to you for being you. You're unique. There's only one of you, one of a kind. Smile to yourself, one long, last, deep breath. And that's it. Call, write, text with questions.